All right. Good morning or good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this. My name is Amy Doherty. I'm from the Minnesota State High School League. I'd like to welcome you to our 2022 State Debate Tournament. I hope it's a wonderful weekend for all participants, judges, and coaches, and we thank you for being here. Assistant Tournament Manager, Dr. Polly Rykowski is the principal at Egan High School, and she'll say a word and then we'll introduce our tournament manager.
Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening. I agree. Whenever you're watching this, we want to give you our strongest support. Congratulations on being here and persisting in this activity. We're just so excited about having state debate. Of course, we wish we could be with you in person and congratulate you in person, but this is the next best thing, and I know we can do this and stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend of competition. Respectful, resilient young people that you are will make it happen, and I'm excited to see how you do. Now I'm turning it over to our tournament manager, Mr. Bob Eyrig. Robert Eyrig has been a teacher and coach for years and years, and even in retirement is very, very active in these programs and is our tournament manager extraordinaire every year. Bob, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations to all of you and your coaches. You are becoming part of the history of the Minnesota State High School League by qualifying for this year's Minnesota State Debate Tournament. The following words by French writer Joseph Joubert underlines the philosophy and the commitment of the league to competitive debate in Minnesota schools. He wrote, "It is better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it." The State Debate Tournament is the oldest Minnesota State High School tournament and ranks among the oldest debate tournaments throughout the country. The state tournament in Minnesota started back in May of 1902 when the policy debate team from the small rural southern Minnesota community of Le Sueur defeated another small town team from Glenwood on May 9th on a 2-1 decision. Le Sueur became Minnesota's very first state debate champion in the final round that was held in the chapel of the University of Minnesota. That championship began the history of what is today the 121st State Debate Tournament in the Gopher State. Policy debate was a singular debate event at the state tournament until 1986, when Lincoln-Douglas debate made its debut. This was an effort by the State High School League and the Minnesota Debate Teachers Association to expand the nature and the focus of debate and the number of participating schools. In 2002, the league officially sanctioned the Classic Debate State Tournament that is held during the first weekend of December. Public Forum Debate crowned its very first state champion in 2013, followed by Congressional Debate in 2018. Over all of these years, Minnesota students have used their critical thinking and speaking skills to engage in debates on major national and international current topics. These included that first topic in 1902 about abolishing capital punishment, and since then topics such as the direct election of presidents, immigration reform, the regulation of domestic surveillance, combating domestic terrorism versus protecting civil liberties, the banning of handguns, peacekeeping by the United Nations, economic sanctions on Russia, the legalization of marijuana. The list goes on and on. On Saturday afternoon and evening, we will celebrate 4 new Minnesota State Debate champions. On behalf of the State High School League, I wish all of you great debating in your quest for one of those championships. Debate has been a very resilient activity that has been able to function and operate in all circumstances on a state and national level. This includes surviving 2 world wars and other conflicts, the Great Depression, political scandals and controversies, and national tragedies. Last year, the COVID-19 pandemic provided the latest challenge to our ability to hold a state debate tournament. Fortunately, the will and determination, as well as the technological skills of the Minnesota Debate Teachers Association and the Minnesota State High School League, allowed us to hold the very first virtual online state debate tournament. Once again, success prevailed over 2 days to continue the proud history of Minnesota debate. We come together again today in a virtual world as we continue to deal with the ongoing impact of the pandemic. The State High School League and the Minnesota Debate Teachers Association are committed to providing you with another positive and safe debate experience during the next 2 days. In terms of our competitors that we have, 133 students from Minnesota high schools will compete for championships in Lincoln Douglas, policy, public forum, and congressional debate. We wish all of you success and a great virtual experience. On behalf of the league, I would also like to acknowledge the time, the expertise, and the dedication of each of our coaches who contributed to the student success in debate during the year. Our tournament staff, as you've heard, I am the tournament manager. This is my 16th year in charge of the tournament. Working with me are the two individuals that you met previously, Amy Doherty, who is the staff member for the Minnesota State High School League, the official tournament director, and then Dr. Polly Rykowski, the principal at Egan, who is my right-hand person as we go through these 2 days. We also have other staff members who do the nitty-gritty that make the tournament function. Katie Schultz from East Ridge High School, Rachel Bauman from Farmington, DJ Brinteson from the Robbinsdale schools, and Zach Prax from Eastview and Chris McDonald from Egan. We value all that they will give us during the next 2 days. Tournament headquarters, once again different. This will be online using the tab room program familiar to all of you during the invitational season. Information has been shared with coaches and judges as to how to connect with the staff with questions and concerns. Based upon last year's experience, we expect all will go well. Some procedural reminders for all debate events. Observers, given the technological and the personal privacy challenges in hosting an online tournament, once again, this year we are suspending the public observation rule of debates. No debate will be accessible to individuals other than the assigned debaters and judge, or if we are able to manage live streaming. Stay tuned for more details. Tournament conduct. The Minnesota State High School League has minimal behavior expectations for regular and postseason tournament competitions. Those summarized are the use of appropriate language is expected at all times. We want to respect each debate. No one should interfere with the debate in any way. Coaches and students should not seek an unfair advantage and not behave in an unethical manner in his or her conduct regarding coaches, judges, competing students, tournament officials, or any other aspect of the tournament. And it is unethical for any coach, student, or judge to attempt to influence the decision of a judge before, during, or after a round. Now we come to the nitty-gritty, schedules, rounds, and sessions. We will begin with congressional debate. So those of you involved in that, pay attention. Students will compete in 3 preliminary sessions on Friday and a 4th session on Saturday. Following that, 2 Super Congress sessions consisting of the top 12 students will then be held Saturday afternoon. Congress room assignments for the preliminary sessions in the 2 houses have been predetermined. Judges should have already received their assignments or will by Friday morning. There is a hard stop at 2 hours for each one of those sessions once the parliamentarian or presiding officer has called the chamber into order for in-session time. We expect a minimum of 1 hour and 45 minutes of debate for each of those preliminary and Super Congress sessions. We ask that students not take more than 5 minutes of recess during a session because recess does not count as part of the debate. We want you debating in the process. Students may serve as presiding officer only once in preliminary sessions 1 and 2, and then again in sessions 3 and 4. That's Congress. For Lincoln Douglas Policy and Public Forum, for the rounds that we have there, we have 2 preset rounds in all 3 events. In policy debate, in those first 2 rounds, we will have 9 debates and 1 bye due to the uneven number of policy teams. In Lincoln Douglas, a similar situation with 11 debates for the 23 debaters, and we have a bye as well. In public forum, we will have 12 debates, each of those 2 rounds involving the 24 teams. Each policy and public forum team and each Lincoln Douglas debater is guaranteed an affirmative and a negative round in those 2 preset rounds. They will meet 2 different sections and 2 different opponents in the top and the bottom half of section qualifiers. The exception, of course, will take place in policy and LD since we have an odd number of entries. After those 2 rounds, pairings will be made on the basis of win-loss records and speaker points in a powering situation. Coaches can review the debate pairing procedures on the high school league website for the rounds after the 2 presets. Round schedules, individual assignments will be posted electronically, similar to what you're used to at invitational tournaments. These will direct you to your respective rooms and debates. Elimination rounds for all debate events on Saturday will be announced, hopefully via Zoom meetings for all participants. Judge strikes. In the world of Lincoln Douglas and public forum, each entry receives 1 strike that is good for both Friday and Saturday, and those were due earlier this week. In policy, teams or schools will receive a bye for both Friday and Saturday, and then an additional strike for the new Saturday judges that will be judging. There are no judge strikes in congressional debate. Coaches should let us know immediately in the tournament headquarters when schedules are posted if judges have been incorrectly assigned. We've tried to make sure that we honor all strikes, but sometimes we slip somewhere, and if you can help us with that, we will make any kind of corrections that are necessary. We do have copies of all strike sheets submitted by coaches should questions arise. Additional strikes in Lincoln Douglas, public forum, and policy will be provided for the panels in semifinals and final rounds. Next area is information exchange. The exchange of specific evidence between schools designed to give an unfair advantage to one entry or school is not permitted in the tournament. If you look at page 5 of the State High School League policies for the debate tournament, that's spelled out. That evidence includes flows, cases, recordings, briefs, articles, or books. Such evidence is not to be exchanged at any time by anyone from the start of registration on Friday morning through the completion of the final round. Use of computers is very detailed, so I would direct you to page 6 of the High School League State Tournament policies for more details. Rules of evidence for Lincoln Douglas Policy and Public Forum. Contestants, first of all, are responsible for the validity of all evidence that they read in the debate. In all rounds of Lincoln Douglas and Public Forum, debaters should, at a minimum, orally deliver the title of the source, qualifications, the author's name, and the year. In policy debate, a little bit different. All debaters are required to orally deliver the name of the author and the year. If you wish to provide more, that's your choice. In all rounds of debate, so for all 3 of those debate events, complete citations for each piece of evidence introduced in the round must be available if called for. Written citations means you have to have the name of the author, qualifications, complete title of the source, and complete date. Online sources, if you use those, must include, again, the title of the site, database or access point, the date accessed, and the web address. That must appear on all evidence, but you do not need to read that in the round. Reading of evidence by judges. This is again on page 6 of the state tournament policies. In policy debate, this is a change from a number of years. I believe this went into effect last year. Judges may request and read any evidence presented in the debate. That's policy. Lincoln Douglas and public forum, judges are prohibited from requesting and reading any evidence at the end of a round unless the issue of authenticity was raised during the debate or unless the judge has substantial reason to suspect the authenticity of the evidence. Authenticity basically refers to two major areas. One is fabrication, falsely representing a cited fact or statement of opinion as evidence, or the intentional omission or addition of evidence within the quoted material. The second area is distortion, misrepresentation of evidence or of the citation, which significantly alters the meaning or context. Students must challenge any evidence that you believe to be fabricated or distorted during the debate or immediately after the last affirmative speech. In the event of such an evidence challenge, the judge will take responsibility for reading that evidence at the end of the round. For judges, you would be in charge of that, so you would need to look at page 6 again of the state tournament policies in terms of specific direction as to how you proceed. Prep time and breaks, similar to the regular season, Lincoln Douglas, 4 minutes per debater, policy 8 minutes per team, public forum debate 3 minutes per team. For Congress, you should not take more than 1 5-minute recess per session to allow for a maximum time for debate. Disclosure of decisions in Lincoln Douglas policy and public forum. Judges are permitted but not required to disclose their decisions after the end of the debate. That's your option. However, prior to any kind of disclosure and discussion of the debate with the students, the judge is required to submit their electronic ballot, their decision and their points on Tabroom. If you plan to disclose, you must inform the debaters then to remain in the digital room while you complete and submit your ballot. You may then conduct your discussion and disclosure afterwards. This is required to keep the tournament on schedule. Problems and questions. For coaches, you should contact the Tabroom staff before the next round starts. Once a round begins, the issue can no longer be raised. So Zach Prax and the rest of the staff will be communicating with you and tell you how to access us should that arise. There is an electronic protest form. The link for that will be provided. Complete this and submit that to start any kind of a needed jury process. The tournament jury, very pleased to have the following 3 debate coaches and Minnesota Debate Teachers Association leaders that will serve in the capacity of a tournament jury. Court Sylvester, the debate coach at Rosemont, Des Neiman, the coach at Lakeville North and South High Schools, and Christian Vasquez, the debate coach at Blake School. I will be responsible for convening the jury to deal with any disputes or challenges presented to me either by a judge or a coach. Jury decisions, once that process has been completed, will be communicated to coaches, students, and judges as appropriate. If I have to meet with the jury to review any Tabroom procedures regarding judge assignments or scheduling that may have to be altered from what we have established, I will meet with the jury. The jury then will be asked to discuss and provide recommendations in such situations. So that's for our students and coaches. Some quick reminders to judges. First of all, Thank you for agreeing to judge this weekend. We truly value your contributions to debate and to the state debate tournament, and we hope you have a positive experience. For ballots, all ballots will be sent to your tab room account. It will identify the schools and debaters involved and provide the link to your room. For completing ballots in Lincoln Douglas Policy and Public Forum, we ask you to, at the end of the round, complete your decision and speaker points first and submit that immediately to the tab room. We need this information as soon as possible to facilitate the scheduling of the next round. Regarding speaker points, whole or half points are allowed. No other fractional points are allowed in the tab room program. Ties and speaker points, a tie may be awarded to either entry. Low point wins are allowed. Once you are done with that, then you can come back at any time to complete your comments on the full ballot. You have until the end of the tournament on Saturday night to complete those ballots, but we'd hope that you write those comments while your mind is still fresh about the rounds. General judge conduct, we know that you will conduct yourself in a professional manner. You represent the Minnesota State High School League and the debate community. Observing other debates, obviously, with the virtual tournament that has changed. If you are not scheduled for semifinal debates in policy, Lincoln Douglas and Public Forum, if we in fact have live streams of those debates, please do not watch them because you could be assigned to judge the final rounds. Problems and questions, connect with me at tournament headquarters, particularly if it's something involving a debate that you just heard that may affect future scheduling and results. We'll call the jury if needed to resolve any issues that may have occurred in a debate round. And that's it for the judges, and that's it for everyone else here as our welcome and review of tournament procedures. I want to thank you again, and we wish you the best of luck during the next 2 days. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.